Well, folks, we've got Mr. Hollywood himself coming all the way from Dubai. Yep, we got Kim. Kim Winter, how are you, brother? Good to talk to you.
Hey, kia ora, bro. Kia ora there, Max. And yeah, we're here from Dubai Logistics City. Dubai Studio City, where our office is here, and we're renovating. So I'm in here in the office. We've got a team here, 5-year renovation. So it's going to look like James Bond country in the next week or two.
We'll show you. When will that be ready? Can we get onto it next week and have you doing some, cartwheels and things?
It's going to take 2 weeks. But yeah, no, here in my office, and we've got a institution just over the road that was responsible for a late night last night. We've had a bit of a celebration. We had a big deal closed last night. So, excuse me, just a little bit rough around the edges and dusty today.
It's allowed, Kim. If you're celebrating, it's all good news, and that's what we want to hear. What else is happening over there?
Well, as you know, we've been in the executive search, recruitment and consulting business up here for nearly 20 years. So deals take a bit longer to close up here, but they're pretty big. So we've just done a deal to close out and put an executive team in one of the biggest ports in the world. So I'll be traveling all around the world over the next couple of months with that, Max. So I'll be reporting some pretty interesting places. And but here,
tell me, big timer, is that port in Africa?
They're everywhere around the world, these guys. So
I think I've got the wind of this one.
You may not, but no, look, busy week. As you know, Expo, where we came to you live from last week. We will be back down there again, but we interviewed a lot of people down there. We've got a book review series as well that we've done, and a big Kiwi influence over the last few weeks. So we've interviewed, and on our podcast channel, Logistics Executive and Kim Winter, you can see Alan Duff, who's just released a book with Sonny Bill Williams. You can't stop the truth from shining. You can't stop the truth from shining. So we interviewed Alan. That was great. You can see that on the channel. James Kerr, the book Legacy, all about the All Blacks. So he's embedded with the All Blacks for a year. James is in London. I'm going to be seeing James in a couple of weeks in London. And also a really interesting interview we're just releasing the next couple of days by Filippo Levi from Auckland. And Auckland has released a book called Tackle. And Filippo, as many of the Polynesian whānau will know, was the captain of Manu Samoa for a number of years. Really lovely man, and got a great business going in Auckland as well. So we've interviewed him, and that will be released this week.
My God, you don't sit still. And I got to say, Kim, we never know what part of the globe you're coming from, who you're talking to next, but God, it sounds like you're really pumping it. You know, Alan Duff's book particularly, I'd be very keen to have a read of. So, you know, there's some good stuff coming out, Kim. So well done to you.
No, Kiwi's doing very well. We'll be catching up with a few more Kiwis at a big conference offshore in probably 2 weeks. So we'll probably be reporting from there. We've had Gulf Food here. We've had a lot of Kiwis up here this last week or so. The second or third biggest food conference in the world. So about 300 New Zealand companies up here. It's been growing over the last 20 years that I've been coming in and out of here and living here. And so that's big. And then, of course, about 850,000 people have crossed the barrier there at Expo 2020 here at Expo in Dubai at the New Zealand Pavilion. So very, very big influence in New Zealand, of course, mate. We're ruling the world. I hear you're opening up. You've got people performing, dancing around all over the place down there, and demonstrating down in Parliament House. What's going on?
Well, there's nothing actually. No one talks about anything else but the protesters down there, because there were some pretty heavy radicals down there, and threats were given, and the MPs decided we're not talking to them. We're not talking. And anyway, it's evolved, and what's left behind now is a really passive, fun-loving people who want to dance and sing. The Speaker of the House turned the sprinklers on them, trying to get rid of them outside Parliament, and they just put traffic cones on top of the sprinklers and laughed about it. So then he started piping in Barry Manilow music and a whole lot of music to try and deter them. So they started dancing to it. So they're having a great time down there. But they're settling in. We understand there's schools actually starting. They're actually starting their own school. They've got their own medical center. They've got a lot of things happening there.
I was on LinkedIn yesterday. I listened to the 8-minute speech that chap gave on behalf of everybody to the members of Parliament and to the people of New Zealand. Beautiful speech, I must say, very well enunciated. And, you know, I've got to say, it's interesting times since there's been big demonstrations in Parliament. Fun fact for you, Max, Trevor Mallard used to be my patrol leader at Boy Scouts in the 1960s in
Oh, that
Kandala
explains it all. That
New
guy's a
Zealand and
lunatic.
Wellington. So Trevor was always a bit bossy back in those days. So I don't know what he's thinking about putting the sprinklers on people.
Far out,
Get
is
up,
he?
Trevor.
Yeah. We've got some terrible politics down here, and Trevor's at the heart of it. And he's the Speaker of the House, and he's just disgraced himself. And so, yeah, well done, Ken. Explains a lot about you now. All right, my brother. Good to talk to you, and we look forward to next week. All righty.
All the best, Max. Take care.